Does this sound familiar? You want to improve your language skills as a professional, but you decide to do it on your own. You remember some grammar basics from school, but you think it could help to refresh them a little. You start reviewing grammar rules, and to learn more vocabulary, you decide to watch movies, TV series, and YouTube videos online. You come across a video that teaches 10 expressions you need to sound like a native speaker. You watch it, then another video about grammar pops up, followed by another one about pronunciation. You know how the story goes. You keep watching these videos until you get tired. Then you think to yourself, well, that's enough. I've had my language practice for today. Then there comes the real life, and you want to start having more international experiences. So it's time to actually speak when in a meeting at work or while traveling. You understand what others say, but when it's your turn to speak, you just freeze. You have so many things to share, but the thought of speaking is so stressful. You either don't say anything at all or say a couple of sentences just to say something. Why is it that you understand but can't speak well as a professional? This is a question I'm asked a lot. So let's talk about it in this video. First, let's understand the why, because when you know the why, you have a strong reason to take action on how to fix it. We'll talk about the how in the next part of the video. This mainly happens because of the method you're using to practice the language, and I can sum it up in two main categories. The first one is your practice method. When learning a language, we have two types of skill that we need to work on: active skills and passive skills. Passive skills are reading and listening. Active skills are writing and speaking. Watching videos and listening to podcasts are great for practicing passive skills, but they don't involve you actively producing the language. If you don't practice active skills like speaking and writing, it's normal to struggle with speaking and producing the language. Reading and listening don't require you to create anything, but writing and speaking do. There's also a difference between these two active skills. Writing gives you more time to think, so it's less stressful. Speaking, however, demands quick thinking and the ability to respond in real time. I'll talk about how to practice more actively in the next part of the video. But before that, first let's get to the second reason you understand but can't speak as a professional. You have developed a fear mindset. And this might come from your past experiences. If you previously learned the language with anxiety, fear of making mistakes, or the pressure to be perfect, you might have developed a mental block that makes speaking feel stressful rather than something that is natural. Traditional learning methods often reinforce this feeling of fear in your mind. Think back to school or your previous language learning experience. Grammar rules, memorizing vocabulary, and taking tests. It's all about perfection, avoiding mistakes, and impressing your teachers. So if you learn the language with the wrong method, for example, with translation, you carry those wrong practices into your new experience. So you need to unlearn and relearn the language with the right method. For example, in English, if you learned about the past tense or present perfect with translating them, you need to go back and relearn these rules with the right method. Or if you memorized vocabulary by translation, you need to go back and relearn the vocabulary with the right method. I talked about how to stop translating in another video. You can find the link in the description. But why do you need to go back and relearn? Because you haven't trained your mind based on how real life is. Real life works differently. When we speak, we need to think fast and communicate what we have in mind effectively and confidently. If your mind is busy somewhere else, like thinking about what if I make a mistake? What if someone laughs at me? Or what if I say something wrong? Then you're not using all the power of your mind. You're losing a lot of mental energy on the wrong things. Maybe it's overthinking or translation or something else. So these wrong practices don't help you and hold you back. You don't develop the skills necessary to overcome this mental block. Now that you understand the two main reasons, let's talk about how to fix them. Let's start with the most important one, your fear mindset. Because without that, you can't even get to the next step of practicing the skill of speaking. You have to shift from learning out of fear to learning out of love. Love is the antidote to fear, meaning that love can reduce the negative impact of fear. A mind focused on fear functions differently than a mind that's functioning out of love. How? Let me clarify by some real life examples. Let's say you're in an international meeting. If your mind is functioning out of fear, you start to feel anxious all the time and thinking about what could go wrong. If you change your focus on loving the experience or your job or loving to connect with others, then you're seeing the bigger picture and you don't get lost in the details. As a result, you rely on trusting your ability as a professional. At this stage, you're focusing on contributing, sharing your knowledge, and you see that everyone is there to collaborate. In this way, you can get out of your own head and be present in the moment. Another example, if you're in a group discussion, connect with others by asking questions and sharing ideas instead of excluding yourself because of fear. For example, during a presentation, even if you're unsure of your language skills, learn how to speak confidently. Confidence is a different skill, so also try to work on that, not only your language skills. If not, you will feel stuck, and this constant doubt will make you freeze. And the final example, if your pronunciation isn't perfect, you make mistakes, or don't remember a word, be kind to yourself and learn as you go. Everyone makes mistake and no one is perfect. Having self-compassion allows you to keep speaking without fear. So whenever you notice you're thinking out of fear, remind yourself and try to actively change your mindset by looking at the big picture. At first, it can take some time, just like any other skill, and you may need to focus to be able to have this kind of mindset. But with practice and repetition, you can make it automatic. And if you're finding this mindset shift to be very difficult, then you can work with a language coach who can help you with this. Because a language coach understands how the mind works and can find personalized solutions for you. For example, with my students, we always have coaching sessions to understand what's going on in their mind that stops their progress. Once you understand this mindset shift, it's time to improve your practice method. As we previously said, you need to bring more active practices into your routine. Some of these practices you can also do on your own. For example, the first practice is writing more. Start a journal in the language you want to improve. Write about your day, your plans, lessons you learned, or even just random thoughts. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just for practice. The act of writing helps you clear your mind and allows you to start thinking in that language. The next practice that you can also do on your own is shadowing technique. This can help you turn your passive listening skill into an active skill. Watch a video of your favorite movie or speaker and repeat after them. Copy their pronunciation, their intonation, and everything. These practices can help you start thinking in that language instead of translating. You can improve both your listening and speaking at the same time. I've already talked about how you can stop translating by developing a second brain in another video. You can check the link in the description. Finally, once you're comfortable with these practices on your own, it's time to add the real life practice and take things into the next level. You need to have real life conversations. Some people ask if practicing with AI is enough. While it's a good start, real life conversations are very important. Speaking with real people can develop key skills because it challenges you. You need to think fast, manage your emotions, and adapt to different situations. If you find it difficult to practice these skills at a high risk environment, for example, at work, then practice with other people. You can join online communities, find international people by going to different events, or take speaking classes. If you can connect online to watch this video, you can find your community to practice your speaking skills. If you're not doing it, it's your mind trying to keep you safe in a box, and you need to face the fears you have. And once you can speak the language, it's time to work on speaking it confidently and communicating effectively. I've created a mini training that shows the roadmap for professionals. You can click on the link in the description. Now, let me know in the comments section what your favorite part of this video was. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.